Yes, people. Welcome to your evening debate show where we're going to be talking about Bruno Guimaraes. 100 million price set is pretty much that time where you can activate it, and it's all about who's going to. Goonley's quite certain that Arsenal are not in for him at all. When he kind of seems like he's the great replacement for Xhaka ultimately, and then obviously Man City are hot on him now. Paqueta has decided to bet his life away.
Don't want to pay, but don't want to pay the full amount.
Oh.
Yeah,
well,
we're not going to pay 100 mil.
What do you mean? Well, you done it last year.
I'm just saying what I've been told. We're not looking to pay the full amount.
Apparently, we're only going to pay like 75.
Yeah, maybe.
And I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
I want to ask you guys a serious question before we begin.
And also,
you guys
it's won 4 in a row.
You had what do you call it, Sir Alex? You have Pep. I had Arsene Wenger and other guys, obviously, like George Graham. Do you feel like managers can guarantee you trophies if they come into your club? Or do you think it's top players that guarantee you trophies?
Hold on. Is it Gal creating the debate for the night?
Oh, shit.
No, I'm asking you because I've been really getting into sports psychology. I literally listened to the book of basketball made by Bill Simmons.
Oh, Rodri's fucked you up that badly, yeah?
Okay. Yeah, and he was really talking about like the psychology of winning and how you become a winner. And he's like, you can become a winner with a great player or a great manager, but what's more important?
Manager.
Probably manager, because the manager can get the best out of average players.
Manager for me.
Manager,
do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And then he asked the next question. In the history of that sport, there's only a handful of players and managers that are guaranteed trophies. In football,
no one's guaranteed trophies.
Could you say in football there's anybody who's guaranteeing you trophies? Because Jose seems like he guarantees people trophies.
Oh, no. Jose, because
Pep seems like he's guaranteed trophies.
No. Bro, hold on, because you've got to put something to this in that it's also to do with the club they went to. Pep went to Crew Alexander. I don't think that necessarily guarantees you trophies. I think there are managers that
don't you think Messi guarantees you trophies?
Nah, bro, listen, 100% it's not a player. We had a player that, and I'm not saying he is the best ever player. We had a player called Georgie Kinkladze, yeah, who, if you go and deep it, the man was insane. We got relegated with him, bro. Like one player definitely doesn't. You need it's a mixture of all. I think a manager is far more important than one single. If you're talking one single player, one single manager, but I think that's why you go with the board.
Okay, so
the board ultimately
obviously obviously there's only 5 people in basketball, but in football with 11 men on the pitch, don't you believe one player can improve the whole team and make everyone better?
Yeah, but not to the point of winning a trophy. And also that is 1/5 and 1/11 is a big difference as well on that.
Yeah, it's true.
But one player, I mean, I guess away from just their ability, their mentality could lift the whole team quite a bit, to be fair.
Because I'm just saying, has there ever been a player you take them and they turn? Forget about the manager. You take this one player, you put them in the team, they turn average players around them into superstars.
That was like you lot with Zinchenko and Jesus last season, isn't
it? Don't get out of here, bro. Get out of here.
Imagine this also, right? There's this thing here. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's new 5 rules. And I looked at them and I said, if this doesn't scream Chelsea, I don't know what does.
Bro,
but anyways,
were you a bit worried when you saw them?
Until I saw who wrote it, but I was looking at it. Neil Custis is
so. What were the rules? Read them out to me.
Literally, I'm reading. Look, age limit of 25 for new signings, which is bollocks.
So basically, Mbappe next year, yeah. If Mbappe comes out and goes, do you know what? I want to go to Man United. They're going to go, nope, you're too old.
Exactly. And the second one is no Galacticos. Is the second one. 3, started of play to be set by technical director Jason Wilcox.
Jason Wilcox is going to tell Ten Hag, this is how you're playing.
Yeah, another one. 4, manager to be asked what position he wants to sign, not what player. So
that is.
5, Ineos to send a list of 3 signings per position for manager from.
Them man are catting us differently, innit?
See, I just look at that, right? And I look at this as more of a deflection kind of thing. Like, I look at it, thinking because there's so much heat around the manager and the manager's situation, all of a sudden you set rules before a manager's before the whole process been decided.
Put Ten Hag off.
So who set this? Did Dan Ashworth, since he's the director of football? Because last time I checked, it all gets set down by what the CEO of how you're going to run the clubs, but then it goes down to the director of football. So on that notice, I look at that stuff, and you know what? If it's to be true, we could talk about it if it is true. If not, then it's easier to kind of debunk a little bit. But yeah, that's crazy. And then obviously the whole Branthwaite stuff. Have you not seen about Everton must sell?
I've seen that.
Raise a significant amount of. Go on.
Everton need money, guys, but they're gonna hold people ransom for a Braithwaite. Best believe.
No, I mean, are they? Like, how much did John Stones cost again? Because he 50 million.
Yeah, 55.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, 50 million. Yeah.
50 million.
Oh, do you know?
To the John
How much
Stones
did they pay for
Oh,
Keane?
do you know what? The mad thing is, we were having this conversation. I think it was at right last couple of days with when I was around all my City lot. We were having this debate about if we could sell John Stones this summer and get Braithwaite and maybe 20 million, would we have it? And me and Steve were saying, yeah, I think now we probably would, because of the age of John Stones, the fact that he's starting to get injured more than ever, and Braithwaite's age, that actually now might be the right time to take a deal like that. And I see comparisons of him and John Stones. I do.
John Stones
I
definitely much better.
think John Stones is way more tidy. Like, he's like way more secure on the ball.
Yeah.
But Branthwaite's still decent on the ball. He's got a decent pinger on them.
Like, if you go back to John Stones's first season under Pep, remember he was looking shaky that season.
Yeah, but he was.
It's easy now when you look at it in hindsight. Yeah. I do hear what you're saying. That even then, John Stones on the ball was seen as a big deal on the ball.
The thing is, if Braithwaite went to Man City, I have no doubt in my mind he would excel. But if he went to Chelsea or Manchester United under the previous ownership and how it was, you're setting the guy up for failure, because he's going to come on such a high price tag. He's not going to have the players around him to nurture him. That's the main key. If he comes on a high price tag, he needs to have the players around him to nurture him. And also the pressure of being a big signing for any of those clubs at center back. Immediately when you concede a goal, you're a banter. The banter is mental.
It's pure
profit. If he was to go City, not saying he will go City, but if he was to go to City, you'd think him and Vardy would be the future pairing going forward, and that wouldn't be crazy to.
If he went to Man United, he would be replacing Varane.
Yeah, I just see Mr. Link said Stones is overrated. Stones isn't over. What I will say is, I think if Stones was fit all season, he'd probably deserve. Right, when Stones plays, that's where he gets rated. I do think it is a fair comment that Stones' availability is always been an issue, like it has been. But when Stones plays, there is an obvious difference for Manchester City. Now, you can go and look at the FA Cup and say, well, maybe not the FA Cup final, but that was just a weird partnership. Like him and Ake is a weird partnership, because with Stones, you do need someone like Diaz. And I think that's the difference with Braithwaite. I think Braithwaite, he can do, I'd say Braithwaite almost defensively. Braithwaite, same shape.
It's not your fault. It's not City fans' fault. The media build up players. Win trophies.
You sound like Eric Ten Hag.
And then when they don't play as well, or they're injured, or they have something, immediately people call them overrated.
Yeah, million percent.
Was John Stones overrated when he was playing week in, week out, helping you guys win the No. But this season, based on his expectations from last year, he has not, because of his injuries, he has been half of himself.
I'm not gonna lie, if I see 100%. Like, he hasn't been one of our best defenders. When he plays, he's been great, but when you're only playing like a handful of.
Same with Diaz. Player of the season to what he is now, it's a big difference.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I can't lie. I think
I'm putting there this season. I think ended the season well, but he's been poor this season.
Nobody speaks about Diaz as the top the center back or player at your team. They speak about
hold on. No. There's a difference.
I mean, when they talk about your defenders and your key defenders, Akanji gets spoken about.
But it
Gavardio
depends
gets
what you
spoken
say.
about.
Depends what you
Diaz
say.
is
If we
kinda like, he's just there now.
no, that's right. If people are talking about who Manchester City's best centre back is, people will say John Stones or Ruben Diaz. But if you ask who has been the best this season, they will say
Defender.
Vardio or Akanji. No, but there's a difference in the best for me personally. And I think for most City fans, and I think probably even rivals, would say John Stones and Ruben Diaz. But if you say this season, 100% you ain't putting either of them there. You're putting Akanji, Vardio, and Ake all ahead of them. 100% you are.
Let me make my point clear, Dabs. I am not saying these guys are better than Ruben Diaz. I'm just simply saying when you speak about City defenders, Ruben Diaz is not the first one you mention nowadays. You mentioned
just not.
You mentioned Akanji.
Depends what you ask.
You mentioned Gavardio based on their performance this season.
I disagree.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I disagree. I think people mention Akanji because he's been good this season, but he's not mentioned as the mainstay best City centre back. Like, if anything, when I mention Akanji, he's more on the bottom of the list. Not to say he's a bad defender. He just kind of sits between the bottom two of the list at Manchester City. Like, you can say we mentioned Vardio, but Vardio's really good form has come at the back end of the season, in my opinion. Like, the main stakes of Man City's back line is still definitely Ruben Diaz and John Stones. I just think the guys who have come in to help them when they've not been around have done an exceptional job.
I think the mad thing with Vardio is
that's the key point.
The mad thing with Vardio is by the way, Akanji's been our best defender this year. I'm not going to come here and go Akanji's our best defender now. He's had a good year. With Vardio, the mad thing with that is that everyone's speaking on Vardio's been good back end of the season because he's going forward defensively. Like, Vardio's been good all season. It's just because he's got a few goals, all of a sudden everyone's going, Vardio's been quality back into the season. It's been good all season. But anyway, that isn't what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Bruno G.
Oh, but I was linking it back.
I disagree.
Let me link it back though.
Since he's been better going forward.
Since I brought it up, the main reason why I brought it up is if you're going into a City team, or if you're going into a team that has good centre backs already, like an Arsenal or a Liverpool team, you kind of don't have to face the brunt of the criticism when your team concedes a goal or does bad defensively. Where if he goes to Manchester United or Chelsea, he might have more pressure on him to be that one of the main linchpins, the main leaders.
Well, I don't see why Man United want him anyways in the first place. I'll be real, Luke Shaw, I'm moving him to backup left centre back, so you don't have to worry about all that shit. You want a new left back, go get a new left back. You still got Malacia, ain't got nowhere. Let's be real. So, anyways, that's calm as it is.
I get what you're saying.
You need height. You need height in your back line.
I hear it, but I saw Martinez win headers against Haaland, so I don't give a shit what anyone tells me. I need to know the guy's 6'5".
Back to that one again.
9.
You need physicality in your back line.
Martinez.
And I was going to say,
that. A good partner.
Talking about Martinez height in
2024. You need a good partner for Martinez.
We don't need height. But yes, it's partly his height. Of course it does. That it makes sense. But in terms of him, like Martinez, let's be real, he's going to be starting. And I don't get why this club or Ineos' strategy or how you want to look at it, whether it's the Brexit strategy or looking what the best in class is or whatever it may be. Right now, we need 2 right-footed centre-backs. Because we ain't got any. Lindelof might be there, he might not be there, and I don't like him and he's shit. Let's be real, he's not that good. He should have been moved on about 3 years ago. Varane's leaving, so that's where it is. So you're gonna have to go through all that space. I don't know why they want a left-footed centre-back when it's not even the main priority. This is what I don't understand with journalists. The thing is, in a year's time, maybe it'll be good. Maybe in a year's time it will make sense. And you want people to push for places, etc., etc. But it's not one of the main focuses for me as in terms of a priority position.
If you're him,
Johnny Evans, we don't have Johnny Evans. He's not getting a new.
If you're Branthwaite, you ain't looking at.
Your club might keep Johnny Evans.
I don't know. If you're Branthwaite, you'd be hell of looking at Maguire and thinking, "Oh, I don't know if I want to go to this club."
This is where Manchester United scouts do your job. What happened to scouting? Go find a defender that fits the profile that you need and go bring him in. Why does it always have to be the big names or the person that we can all name because we play them with them on FIFA? No, go do your job, scouts. Go find somebody in France. Go find somebody in Italy. Go unearth somebody for the club. That's what you need. at times, because constantly paying top dollar is going to hurt you guys eventually.
Yeah, and then if you're thinking of what the price is as well, like, I'm not being funny. If a team needs to sell, there's no way you should be forking out anything. Apparently they want 80 million.
Yeah, I was going to say they will, bro. 100%.
Do you know
bro,
what 80 million can
yeah,
get you these days?
yeah,
You can get two
bro,
good centre backs just as good
listen,
as him.
If he's bro, English defender, they're gonna want that type of Maguire, bro. Just think of Maguire. They're gonna want that P 100%. About to go into the World Cup. There's a chance. I'm pretty certain he'll go. There's a chance he starts. If he starts, 100% they're gonna want 80 million. If he starts for England, 100% they will. It's that English tax, isn't it?
Well, you know what? I actually think Manchester United are headed in the right direction with how they're doing their backroom stuff. They might have an advantage in the French market because you have an owner who has a French club.
What's going on here with this French market vibe?
No, because think about it. They actually have an owner who has a club in that league. So maybe
he has scouts in that league, 100%. Yeah.
So maybe they can go find somebody that they could be affordable, that could be young and up and coming. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see them going for more French players in the foreseeable future.
Like Liverpool going for Dutch players, isn't it, Monts?
Yeah.
Shut up. What are you saying?
To be fair, there's another. There's another team that we are trying to own, but it's gone out of my head. But we have something like that with like what you have with Nice. We're trying to get something like that you have with Nice.
You're trying to get a Portuguese club or a Brazilian?
I don't know. I can't, bro. For the life of me, I can't remember. But there's definitely another club that Liverpool.
All I know is the City model is the way to go. You need multiple clubs going forward.
It's true. It's true. Like, bro, the fact that everyone just seems to get that. These men are getting my man from
Girona.
What's his name? Yeah. What's his name?
I don't know.
Is it Savio?
Apparently, he's their Riyad Mahrez replacement now. I was talking to Lee Gunner. He's telling me this guy's ready to play in the Prem right away.
Who is?
That guy that they've signed?
Savio.
Wait, Liverpool. Is it Toulouse? Is it Toulouse, man? Then let me know.
Hold on, Savio plays for Girona.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I'm saying.
I'm also hearing the Girona manager might be the top replacement for Pep.
Yeah.
It makes sense. City Group keeping it within the football as well, kind of like styles. It would make sense, especially if you're going to get.
Definitely knows how the board works. Is you got to remember, Girona isn't only owned by Girona. The club is like it's Pep's brother, so.
I'm kind of, you know what?
That Savio thing, I tweeted about it yesterday because I saw a clip of his stuff, and I don't really go off of YouTube clips because they're YouTube clips, innit? Literally anyone can go and get highlights off of YouTube. But
you know what you need?
He does look good. I think there is truth. Look, Girona, did they end up finishing third?
Yeah.
Right, so they finished third in La Liga. Yeah, he's been playing on the wing. Like you can't. He's clearly of a certain level. Otherwise, but from what I've heard is because originally I think City's plans were him to go back out to Girona and then make a decision in December whether to bring him then. But reports are that Pep wants him to link up with the squad this summer, go on tour. And if he does go on tour and do well, then the plans would be that he stays with City as their right wing option.
The moment he comes into your training ground, he's staying. The guy got 10 assists in La Liga. The guy is one of the top players in La Liga last season.
Yeah, I hear it. I just haven't seen it, so I can't talk on it. I think that
season's serious, bro.
And from what I've seen of him and Doku together looks explosive as hell. But then that makes me sit here and go, what is Pep really? Is Pep really gonna be going with two explosive wingers? Now on the Grealish thing, the news is that has been coming out today about Grealish is that before the Fulham game, Pep wasn't happy with him in training. I've seen a few people say maybe that he'd been drinking and that he has got underlying issues. And Pep spoke with him and pretty much said, look, yeah, I understand this season you've had injuries, you've had personal issues. But next season, I am going to need you. You need to get back to the Grealish that I know and that I love and that I want. But I'm going to need you. Now, that would make sense to me because I think the way that Pep plays, you need that balance of an explosive winger and one that's kind of a bit more, you know, the way Grealish was last season. So
also, Foden won't be on the wing anymore.
well, let's hope to God that's true, bro. Let's hope to God that is true.
Foden's going to be a lot more central going forward.
I would presume so. With De Bruyne slowly being phased out, we need Foden central, and the fact that if we do have Doku, keep Grealish, and keep Savio, that would pretty much tell me Foden is not playing on the wing no more, which is music to my ears. But I would love to see 2 direct wingers, but I just can't see. I can't see Pep doing that. Can you lot? Really?
Yeah, I can see it being a new thing.
He has had 2 direct wingers before with the Sane and Sterling model.
Yeah,
but then in that case, if we do as well, it's the impact that has on the rest of the team. Because when we had Sane, let me finish, Cass. Let me finish. When we had Sane, yeah, Pep would never start Sane and Mendy together. Yeah, Mendy was, a winger that likes to, a left back that likes to get forward, right? Pep would never start them together because ultimately they're getting each other's space. Yeah, so if he is going to go with a left and right winger, then that would mean that he's not going to be asking Vardiol to go forward like he did this year. So then. Would he put Vardiol middle? Would he move Vardiol into the middle?
I disagree with that part. Why? Because Sane was left-footed on the left wing, mean you tug the touchline a lot more than
you can disagree with it. He never played an overlapping defender with Sane.
But this
you can agree with it as much as you want, but he didn't.
When I know he likes his wingers to touch wide, but if he has it to a point where he wants his wingers inside, while Vardiol, this is why Bruno Guimaraes makes sense.
But then in that case, that would be going inside, so it wouldn't be. Vardiol's been going wide, yeah, he hasn't been coming inside. Delph went inside, Zinchenko went inside, Cancelo even at times went inside. Vardiol has always been more of a kind of hugging the line and whipping crosses in. So
yeah, that's
it
what
would
I'm
be
saying.
Again asking Vardiol
I
to do
think the guy that loses his spot is Kyle Walker.
Oh yeah, but
that's easy though. But this is where I see Bruno Guimaraes
comes to the Walker goes even more so with company at Bayern. Yeah, I wouldn't rule that out.
If Doku's all right, if we I'm thinking of the Bruno Guimaraes, why it makes sense for City to go for someone like him now, especially if you got a Savio. I believe Savio's what is he, a right winger, right? Left footed?
Right or left.
Same with Doku. So he can play either. So he can play touchline if he wants, and he can play inside. And I think Doku's future is probably going to reside on the left in the future. If he comes on the inside like he likes to, then it makes sense for an overlapping left back like Vardiol anyways. But then you need someone who's defensively sound to do up the cover spaces, which has happened when Dan Burn goes further forward. Is Bruno Guimaraes. Because this is why the Bruno Guimaraes stuff makes sense and why I think he's going, okay, if I got Bruno Guimaraes, I can easily play someone tucking inside. It could be Rico Lewis. I'm like, yeah, I'll play him right back. Keep him inside. Make sure you keep it solid still, whilst the attack just does their attacking things. That's what I'm saying. It's just it's not like we ain't seen Vardiol.
Rico, to be fair, if they get Savio and Savio's playing as a winger, yeah, Rico Lewis does make sense at right back again. Because Rico Lewis is not a right back, yeah. And when Rico Lewis has played, Rico Lewis he inverts inside into the middle. Yeah. So that makes on the right hand side, that makes 100% sense. If you think last season we saw Rico Lewis play on the right a bit more than we have this season. Most of this season, when we've seen Rico Lewis, he's been playing in the middle more. But when we have Mahrez, he'd play on the right but invert inside. So that would make sense.
Savio played majority of the season on the left.
Yeah, I thought he did. But he can't he can most definitely. I've seen a lot, like the clips of him I've seen, a lot of it has been down the right hand side. So, but same with Doku. Look, Doku plays on the right. So, I think it's always good when you have wingers that can switch. That's what you want. Where one's not having luck against a defender, you can switch them over and put them against. So, I'm not mad.
But you know, talking about Bruno. I don't know. Do either of us want to pay the £100 million release clause? Because I know Arsenal are not going to pay that.
I've heard City don't want to.
Arsenal are not going to pay that. They've made it clear that they're willing to spend 75 mil. But I think Bruno. I think Bruno's not our number one target.
Apparently, he sold his yard. Apparently,
I think. Look, I've.
He's already out.
Cass knows I've wanted Bruno for a minute, right? Like more than Paqueta. because of the fact he can do the 6 role as well, right? He's a shit house. I also been like, if you remember, not the last home game of the season, but one of their games, the way he was speaking about Newcastle fans was over the top nice. And you know, when a player's being over the top nice about a fan base, it's like, yeah, you're about to move. Then last game of the season, he was sat on the floor, kind of looking a bit emotional. And the key is he's 26, right? Last season, he probably thought, yeah, do you know what? If I stay at Newcastle a few more years, we could be challenging. Then after this season, he sat there as a 26-year-old thinking, we ain't challenging for a minute. So I think he would probably go to Arsenal or City. It's just
Probably
if he's
more.
And I'll be honest, I hear what you're saying, and I've heard the club don't want to pay 100 million, but for a player in that position in the Premier League at the moment, that's about the price that you have to pay, isn't it? Like Caicedo, I know Liverpool got McAllister, absolute steal, right? But you look at Caicedo, you look at Enzo, that's just the price now. And I would rather we suck it up and we go and spend 100 million early doors, June, get him in, than we drag this out into August, trying to find a bargain and end up getting another fucking, ultimately like happened with Nunes, where shit, we're not getting the target we want. And then all of a sudden you're rushing out and spending like 50, 60 million on someone that isn't as good. I think Bruno G comes in and just hits the ground running straight away. And he answers to, it gives us an 8 and he gives us a 6 for Rodri cover. So I would like to see my club just go and get it done at early doors, but whether we will or not.
It's funny how you lot are going to be fighting over another player. And if Arsenal end up winning this fight, if it is the case, bro, if you won it once, you can win it again potentially. But it depends who's done the most.
But you want to know something? I don't think this time we want him as much as we wanted.
I would not. I don't understand why you. I know there's a few players that you can grab.
This is my logic. My logic is the club have price tags for certain players, and if they don't get Bruno G, they're gonna go look at Onana at a different price tag, lower down.
That's
or
my God.
The worlds apart.
I'm not even done. I'm not even done. Go. They wait and they see what opportunities come out later in this transfer window, like Frankie De Jong potentially. There's opportunities that are going to come about in this transfer window. Potentially, Real Madrid might put up Rodrigo for sale. Anybody who spends ridiculous money on a player early in the window and then misses out on.
Do you know who Rodrigo is, by the way?
Yeah. I know which one they're talking about. There's so many different Rodrigos. I was confused, isn't it? Like I was bare confused.
No, but the fact is, people kept going Real Madrid Rodrigo, and you're going, didn't he play for Leeds? Didn't he play?
Yeah, and the one I was talking about.
You get what I'm saying?
I know which one you're talking about.
Guys, nobody thought our Odegaard was available, let alone available on loan. Xavi Simon's available on loan right now.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. If someone gets Rodrigo, do you know what that remind me of a little bit? Like when you lot got Sanchez.
Yeah, Alexis Sanchez.
Because Alexis Sanchez, I feel at Barcelona,
wasn't utilized properly.
Right.
He was.
It's just who was there. The players. Yeah, that's it. The players that had there.
A1.
He was there. Prime Messi, prime Xavi, prime Iniesta. Yeah. So he just, and even then on the left they had who was the Don that went to Chelsea.
But it's kind of like you with Julian Alvarez. It's kind of like you with Julian Alvarez.
Pedro.
If Alvarez was any of the other top teams in the league, he'd be banging 20+ goals.
Oh, you see what Alvarez is doing? Alvarez, my man just wanted to complete football as young as possible. He's put himself. He's playing in the Argentinian World Cup. The Argentinian Olympics. Yeah, he's just after that medal. We need to go. Yep, got one of them.
Easy.
So he already has the Copa America. He's not playing.
He's just literally looking like, I'll tell you, in the dressing room in the summer, if he wins the Olympics, and gets a gold medal in the Olympics, I'm telling you, yeah, when it gets to August, September, and City are talking about, yeah, we want to do the 5-peat, or we want to win the Champions League. You know, Alvarez is there going, "Oh man, then what? Is no one taking the Carabao series? Because that's the only one he hasn't won." He's going to be going to them. We need to get that Carabao, you know. But I think it's probably the Carabao and the Charity Shield, maybe. And he's completed football.
So that is standard, isn't it? But by the way, guys, there's 300 of you in here. One sec. There's 315 of you in here and not even 100 likes. You know, the thing is, if you're on dark mode and you've liked the thumb button, it will look like the top row right here. But if you're on light mode and you like the video, it will look like the bottom row down there. That's all I'm trying to say in it. Word to Monts and all these analogies, they all come from him. So, you know, they are absolutely copyrighted by Monts. But yeah, man, please smash the like button. It's very important. We just talk about Bruno Guimaraes, and I'm pretty sure we keep swapping it back and forth with the Man United stuff as well. There, you know, a little bit of, all you can say is optimism if you're a United fan. If not, pretty much, you know, not so much. But yeah, with the Bruno G stuff, what you just said there, Gal, I hear what you said. I'm not going to try to take it out of context either. But when you know, sometimes you have to choose your words carefully. Yeah, you said, if we don't get a Bruno G because you don't believe that you're too hot, then we'll go get someone else on a price tag matter of someone like a Nana. Like, then that makes me.
That's what we did last season with Nunes, and it's just not the one.
The difference is they've got Pep, right? That's the difference. And I'm not saying Arteta is not going to be this great guy in the future. I'm not slating Pep, but they've got Pep. So on that notice, it's like, I know there's like first, second, and third choice, but I just thought Arsenal need to be really hot for first targets that they want. Like whether it's a Bruno G, go bail out. There will be opportunities. You're right, but Frankie De Jong, then there's the wage issue there. There's a lot of sentiments I feel that could be something great, but you need Prem proven on top of everything else. I think Bruno G would solidify your team.
You know, the other thing that I think is quite important here, and this relevant with both the players we're talking about. It's relevant with Bruno G. It's relevant with Branthwaite. It's relevant with who we just said, Onana. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then also Isaac and also Gordon, right? That the key is all of them are Newcastle or Everton, right? The reason why everyone's being linked with players from both those clubs is because it's reported, I'm saying it's only reported, that both those clubs need to sell. However, it's not reported that both those clubs need to sell all their players, yeah? So if, say there's 3 at Newcastle that everyone wants, Gordon, Guimaraes, and Isaac, right?
You're going to get one of them.
Newcastle are not going to want to sell all 3 of them, yeah? So if you really want one of those 3 players, you need to get in there and get that done as quickly as possible, because ultimately, if someone comes in and gets... And the good thing is, Anthony Gordon is away with England now, so that means that one might be quite difficult to do. I don't know. Are Sweden in the Euros?
One sec, to Sweden.
That one could, and I know it sounds stupid, but it is relevant because ultimately you can't speak with a player usually while they're away on the Euros. They did, right? So,
they did.
But,
did they?
Oh
no! They got eliminated. No, they got eliminated.
Yeah. So I think that is relevant. You need to strike. Like if you want a player, and you see that every summer that ultimately, like Brighton, for example, Liverpool did well by getting in there early doors with McAllister. But if you want anyone else after that, well, listen, we've like prime example, Caicedo. Once you on mute.
I said they ain't making that mistake again.
Nah, but that's the thing. Ultimately, because they sold McAllister, yeah. Best believe if you want another one of our midfielders, you are paying so over the odds because we've just sold one for 35 million. We're not letting the next one go.
Oh yeah, Chelsea ended up Ajax sold Martinez, and then all of a sudden, Anthony all of us cost 80 million
every time. No team want to sell all of their players. Yeah, so the first one is more like the first player you buy, you're more likely to get a deal on, and then the next one you're going to pay a bit more over the odds. By the end, you're getting look, we've sold half our team. If you really want them. And I don't know, like for me, our number one signing this summer would be Bruno G. I do think something that will be quite interesting over the coming weeks will be Bayern Munich's players' reaction to Vincent Kompany joining. Because, you know, there's been a few players that were unsure about whether they wanted like Kimmich and Musiala and whatever. And I think the key is going to be probably the opening exchanges if Vinny can convince them that he's the right manager. Because look, some of them are going to be going, hold on a minute, What's going on here? So,
Mm.
and might go, yeah, this club just is not moving in the direction I want it to no more. So I don't know. I'm intrigued on that because if Kimmich is saying, you know what, yeah, I want to leave, then I want Kimmich. I want Kimmich badly.
There'd be rumors of him linking up with Hansi Flick at Barcelona as well. Something is like he's so keen on it, but I wouldn't put it past. Who knows? Want to work with Pep? He's already worked with Pep before. Actually, Pep kind of made Kimmich into what he was in the DM. He put him there in the first place. I remember.
I think that's the thing at the moment. Like Kimmich is going to cost a lot less than Bruno G,
and he is because of his age. He's like 29, isn't it? 29, something like that.
So I don't know, man. The good thing is it's not obviously going to be because if Pep is leaving, you could go, well, Pep's like 1 more year. I'll just have Kimmich for a year, then I'm gone. But you know, it will be. That's where you need the board to step in and go, no. We're thinking about the long term. But
I think what's it called, yeah? If I don't know how long. Does anyone know how long this Paqueta's thing's gonna last? All these charges.
Bro, if Paqueta gets charged, that's career finished.
Nah, bro, City will be sitting
like
that.
Career finished. So wait, it's not. So it's definitely not getting cleared up this summer. You reckon? Definitely not.
Oh, it takes no way. I'm telling you now, yeah. City will be walking away from that one swiftly.
Easily.
Now, like, yeah. They've waited a year, and then ultimately,
career's finished. Unfortunately,
career not finished.
Have you not seen 10 years? They're saying
what?
10-year ban, bro. That's what they're saying.
You have to realize this.
Career done.
10-year ban.
This falls under the same category as like match fixing.
Yeah. So that's why they're saying 10-year ban from football. That's crazy. I think that's a bit crazy.
10-year ban sounds wild.
The thing is, in Newcastle,
I reckon he's got the 115 fucking extra on top of that because he was being linked with City. They've thrown some extra years on top of him. God, yeah, you can hold some of them 115 charges.
Yeah, I don't see Newcastle wanting to sell much. Like they're definitely going to get double their price. They got 35 to 40 million for Bruno Guimaraes. So they're going to want double their money, and obviously they're going to want to go and spend whatever they need to spend. I don't know about that profit sustainability when that stops, or if they're going to stop that rule and see if other clubs can spend. But Everton, on the other hand, like apparently there's rumors that they're going to offload Pickford, so that might be up for someone's choice. He's been linked with Chelsea, funny enough.
I think Pickford's a top keeper, man. I think he gets too much stick.
Yeah, but the only issue is I think the only thing is key him. I didn't realize Pickford's actually caught on quite a lot in it in terms of footballing age. Like I didn't realize.
Yeah. Do you know what I heard the other day? I heard that Ramsdale moves
to Newcastle,
and Pickford goes to Arsenal as their second choice.
In what world? Why would he
go?
go?
It's just not me making it up. It's just something I heard.
Hold up.
And I heard it off of an Arsenal fan.
Are you saying he's coming to Arsenal and Raya's going to be the backup?
No. He'd go there as a backup. And this, there could be no truth in it. I'm just saying something an Arsenal fan told me that Ramsdale to Newcastle or Chelsea, and then Pickford goes to Arsenal as their second choice.
Can you believe
now,
it?
the one thing that made me think is, like Cass said, Pickford's age. And what's the one thing that Pickford, I don't think, has any of? Any.
Champions League experience, yeah.
Trophies or Champions League, yeah. Right? At his age, he could be going, do you know what, yeah? And if Arteta speaks to him and says, look, I don't know, I'm going to give you some Champions League games or whatever. I hear what you're saying. It does sound a bit mad to go there as as like the second choice, but he has no Champions League experience and he has no trophies, right?
And it's England's number one at the moment.
So there could be some truth in it that he's thinking, do you know what? I'm getting into the later years of my career. Let me just go and grab some trophies or something. I mean, to be fair, it's not the best move if he's wanted to grab trophies, but
I was going to ask you, Monster, see with Bruno Guimaraes, if you're like, if you're in his shoes, right, and both teams came with the same offer, and it's up to him which club he wants to choose. Who do you think he'll be more likely to go to?
I've City or Arsenal.
I
feel like I'll say it this way:
with 1 year left of Pep, let me juggle something. 1 year left of Pep
or long term. I think because both managers are doing really well and they're the top two teams in the Premier League right now, I feel like he'd probably lean towards Arsenal. I think he'd lean towards Arsenal because the partnership with Declan Rice, there seems to be a spot, like there's actually a left centre mid spot there at Arsenal up for grabs. Yes, Jorginho signed a new contract, but it's short term. Arsenal are clearly looking for another midfielder because of the
There's
departure.
a left centre mid at City as well.
Mm.
I'm just looking from Arsenal perspective at the moment. Like
Yeah.
you're looking at Partey departing, and obviously you look
Is he
at
going
Jorginho.
now? By the way,
Yeah.
Apparently, he
confirmed.
doesn't want to leave.
I don't know where Partey will go. Saudi, it would probably be Saudi. To me, I feel like it would be Saudi.
He's turned down moves to Saudi last summer.
Yeah, but listen, they'll come out with another offer and they'll start smiling again. So he'll be all right. He tough. So I don't know. I think that's probably. I think if Bruno Guimaraes plays for Arsenal, I feel like his transitional passing, because Paqueta's so good technically, I think people, when it comes to the comparison between the two, Bruno Guimaraes' transitional passing,
it's cold.
The diags to Gordon and Isak that we've seen this season are serious in it. And Arsenal, I'm not saying Arsenal play transitional football, but there are times that
I
when
didn't see one straight down the middle, bro, where it's still pinpoint. Like
Arsenal, when they defend, is almost like 11 men behind the ball. And sometimes if Arsenal were to get someone who can get in behind, I think he's the perfect guy to either keep the ball, transition the ball, or play long ball to Havertz. I think he can do most of those things to a good standard. And he's got that dog in him. People forget this guy is a walking yellow card.
That's one of the reasons why I want him. He's got that dog in him fully.
Donny punched man in the back against Arsenal. I'm pretty sure he punched man in his back or something.
When he comes, if he does come to Arsenal, it would be a situation where he would need to apologize to Jorginho. And then delete.
He needs to punch him one more time and let him know who he is.
Yeah, bro.
Delete that Newcastle thing.
You're gonna want him to do that for your club. That's
what you're gonna. And that's why I want him at City. Because since Fernandinho's left, we need that dog back.
But you
need a prick. You need a cunt.
Every club needs a prick. 100%.
But you know who that guy is for us right now? After Xhaka left, it's basically Havertz. It is.
I was going to say Havertz.
He just pisses off.
Havertz in the position you want to be the. Bro, you need a prick in a.
Ben White's taking it. He's laughing.
Ben White's just Oompa Loompa. That's all he is.
I feel like it would suit Arsenal, but I also think the City.
Because
he's look at an Oompa Loompa and you'll see what I mean.
He's
literally orange.
He's not short, bro.
No, he's literally orange.
The head shape. You mean the head shape?
No, I mean the head color. He's orange like an Oompa Loompa, bro. He looks like an Oompa Loompa.
He's a carrot, bro.
My God. Man's talking like Willy Wonka.
What I'd say about the City side of things, because KDB's time, he seems to be on a ticking clock. His minutes need to be managed. Kovacic and Nunes there's question marks above those heads. There are positions in that Man City midfield. Bernardo Silva looked like he could be leaving this summer.
I think he's gone. Yeah, I think for me,
there's positions now at Man City where you can go, if I'm going to be part of a new dynasty and possibly win some more stuff next year, like,
bro, we're not allowed. I'm not saying we're not allowed, but it could still happen. But a Rodri, Bruno, Foden 3 is disgusting.
Bro, do you ever think Bruno and Paqueta could get copped? Like, why don't
no,
not anymore.
City gone from Paqueta. I'm telling you now, bro. Like that I'm gonna fight these charges. What, and get them done in a month? Nah, mate.
It's like Catanali all over again. You're gonna pay all that money, and then all of a sudden, banned.
Paqueta ain't happening. I think
West Ham could go down.
Tonali's back when the season.
Guys, West Ham could go down.
He got more. He got like a two extra month ban.
Nah, it run concurrent. Which means same time. But
he'll be back.
But for me, I think at City. Like, right, I'm not going to say gets the goals like Gundogan got the goals, but the goals in Gundogan's career came late on at City. The goals weren't what we signed him for. The goals weren't what we knew Gundogan for initially. I think Bruno G, he's an 8 that can do the 6 role, left-sided. He's very similar to Gundo in that side. For me, like I said, number one signing, unless Kimmich came available, then maybe I'd be Bruno or Kimmich, but I think Bruno fits in a tree. And I heard about 3 weeks ago that, and this wasn't from a City report side, this was from a Newcastle side, that he's made the club aware that if City come in for him, he wants to talk to them.
Facts. I heard the same. I heard if it's between Arsenal and City, Arsenal have no chance. That's what I heard.
I think it's. I don't know. I just think with everything, it's about how you. It's down to Arteta and Pep, or maybe Tiki for us, and maybe someone else at Arsenal. But it's whoever gets to speak to Bruno or his agent and sell the reason we want him. Like
It has to come down to that now, isn't it?
Yeah, to sell to Bruno, because ultimately it's Arsenal and City. You're right. Arteta's going to be, unless Arsenal have an absolute mare and get rid of him, which they shouldn't do. Arteta's
Hey,
the
if we
future.
get rid of him, you're lining up to sign him right away.
Who, Arteta?
Yeah, but next year probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you, bro. I've made it very clear that I would take him at City. I would. He knows how the clubs run and whatever else. So if you're looking at the two, they're the two clubs that you would want to go to in it, unless of course Real Madrid come sniffing or something. But with their midfield, they ain't doing that. So Arsenal or City, I get that if Pep is going, Arsenal, he might be like, oh, but at the same time, I think it'll be easy enough for Tiki to kind of say, look, Pep hasn't made his mind up yet if he's going or not. You get the season under him, and we're already looking at, the next manager and the next 10 years. So it's just which. I think the key would be Partey. I think if you want to speak to Arteta, I think one of his questions would be, is Partey staying or going? Because if Partey's staying, then all of a sudden it makes it pretty clear cut for me. Well, I'll go City then. But if Partey is going, he could then go, right, well, that would make sense. Me, Rice, and I think I said this yesterday on the show yesterday. It's when you're signing players, of course, there's some that go for money, but the ones with the mentalities that we actually want, yeah, that's what it's about. How much game time have I got? What's your plan with me? And that will decide on the players with the right mentality. It's those type of things that will decide it. So,
yeah,
but I hope City go in for Bruno the way Arsenal went in for Rice last season, where it's like, no, we're not losing this. We're having this, man. We're having this, man.
Right. I think it'd be good acquisition for sure. It's actually interesting. It's just like, it's funny. Like, we're just getting into nothing's really concrete. It's just lots of rumors. Interest. No one's actually submitted any bids yet. No one's actually signed anyone.
When's
When's
it open? Is it the 1st of June?
Yeah.
Isn't it usually the 1st of July?
No, 1st of June is straight up.
I swear it's the 1st of July.
I'm pretty sure it's the 1st of June. That's when, because all I can think about is Football Manager. It's always 1st of June, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, true.
Yeah, no, it's just, it'll be interesting. Same thing with Branthwaite. If that's the case, if they keep chasing this guy, I just feel like they're just going to be chasing him all summer, because I think Everton are going to be that type of club that's going to wait for the right price and string out all summer long. Same way with Liverpool. This is what I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool one of the first clubs to get the 14th of June open. I wouldn't be
14th of June.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool probably make one of the first signings, major signings.
I think the bonus that Liverpool have got over your club, Cass, and over Chelsea is that they've got their manager in place.
That's the one. And we don't even know.
Saying that, you might have your manager in place.
So
I think the hardest thing is you at the moment. Is I don't think you've got your board fully in place yet. I think that's the issue.
There's no board. Well, I think there's an idea of it. I think it's there, but it's just like we yet to know anything of this this trial thing for Dan.
When can Mirage actually start doing stuff?
That's in a couple. I think that's literally in the end. Is it the end of June? I believe. Like, most contracts go towards the end of June, and then
right. I think that's what I mean. Is it the 1st of July that players become free transfers?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah.
It's Man United's strategy right now. I don't know.
So we can go in for Thiago. We can go in for Thiago around that time. Yeah. Or is he staying, Monts? Is he staying? Oh.
The worst thing is he'd fucking cook under you, man.
He wouldn't. He's not fit, bro. He'd have to play.
He was fit. No,
if he's fit. Monts, he's the one. When we got Pep,
you realize man played under Pep. Like,
bro, when we got Pep, yeah, there were two players that I proper wanted Pep to bring. One was him, and the other was that who's the Switzerland fullback?
Swiss fullback.
Swiss. You sure he's Swiss?
Nah, it might not be Swiss. Pretty certain he's Swiss though.
Yeah, Bayern Munich or Barcelona?
Bayern.
Not Davies.
Nah.
No, because he's Canadian.
Oh, no, he probably isn't Swiss. Who is it? I'll find him. I would have got it wrong 100%. He probably isn't Swiss, bro. He's not going to be Swiss, is he? Let's
Is
be
it that?
real,
Is it?
Vinicius.
Yeah.
No, bro, he's a big boy.
Alaba.
Alaba.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where
he's
was he?
Hungarian.
He was a
He's not
left back.
Hungarian.
No,
Yeah, I said
Austrian.
fullback. I said fullback,
Austrian.
bro.
Austrian.
Austrian,
Alaba's
that's it.
Hungarian, no?
No,
He's
he's Austrian. See, red and white. I wasn't far away with Switzerland, to be fair. I wasn't that far away with Switzerland.
That's a Hungarian, lad. Do you know what
Bro.
Hungarians are built, man?
Bro,
They all look like
they are the two that I
Oh,
wanted.
Austrians.
Alaba
Bro,
and
somewhere
Thiago. Because I
Eastern
thought they were
Europe, bro.
absolute ballers, man.
Bro, I've been to
Switzerland and
Budapest. There's
Austria
a lot
aren't
of
in
black
Europe.
people.
Bro, Switzerland and Austria are not in Eastern Europe.
Bro, I don't know they're
definitely a
Austrians.
crazy baller.
Anyways,
Yeah,
I've been to
they're the
Hungary,
two I
there's a
wanted.
lot of black
Alaba and
people there.
Thiago were the two that I wanted Pep to bring. Obviously Messi, but I knew that wasn't
I'm
going to happen.
repping it.
Them two are proper wanted, man. I think Thiago was a baller, but the injuries, bro. If we're deep in it, once you know his period at Liverpool was very underwhelming, very underwhelming.
I think underwhelming, definitely because of his availability. But I think
What did you win under him? What did you win under him?
The cup double and the Carabao.
Woo! Yeah, underwhelming.
Off the back of winning the league.
Once you can only dream of them trophies there, bro. I mean, sorry, Igal, you can only dream of those trophies under.
Bro, don't
Arteta.
act like we didn't win bare FA Cups in this
What
era.
about them?
That's cute.
Anyways, guys, love. I gotta go.
Yeah,
it's been good vibes. I gotta head out. So.
Make sure you subscribe, people, as well. You can subscribe to all the channels that are here.
Don't talk about trophies. What are we talking about? We have the same amount of trophies as Liverpool in the last 10 years. Did you see that stat?
We got him.
Anyways,
in the last 10 years.
Listen, anyway, I'm gonna go and.
What did you won in the last 10 years? What, 5 FA Cups?
Apparently, we have 9 trophies. Anyways, I'm out of here.
Everyone say a prayer for Sophia.
Arsenal don't have 9 trophies. They have 4 FA Cups in the last 20. They have 5 FA Cups in the last 20.
Meaty
Oh, wait, no, the
skirmishes,
season's done. They have 4 FA Cups in the last 20.
Meaty skirmishes. Anyways, we're gonna go. We're gonna be back tomorrow for transfer talk, and hopefully there's something decent on the rise.
Starts cooking.
We're starving. In a bit. Wait, not in a bit. Pick up the Staffy for this one.
Huh?
Yeah, stay here.